Welcome to the Fluffy Biscuits podcast. Zach, I believe you had something for us today. I believe you were dying to tell us about it.
Well, so if anybody listened a few episodes ago, we talked about, we kind of lightly previewed the concept of a movie. It was called Saltburn. I have since watched I read about it for us. I have since watched the movie and thoroughly hated it. Just everything about it. It's supposed to be a psychological, dark comedy thriller. It was neither psychological or comedic or thrilling. The dude did fuck a grave, though. I read about that when we were originally discussing it, and he does in fact fuck a grave. So if grave fucking was something that was big on your bucket list of seeing, there's that. I will also say, if you have thought about it, looked into it, maybe seen something about it and been like, man, maybe I'll like this just for the sheer fact that it's so shocking, because everybody's talking, it's really not. I don't know if maybe that's just me being desensitized a little bit, but in terms of shocking things I've seen in movies, it was very low on the bar for a lot of it. Personal opinion.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, you haven't?
I've seen like pieces of it, and I was like, dang, the camera work in this movie seems pretty decent.
I mean, in terms of making a movie, yeah, it's a pretty solid, like, it is, of all the films of all time, it's one of them. It's, it definitely is a movie. I'll give you that.
Now imagine watching that movie with your parents.
Well, I don't think my mom would say much. My dad might have something about it, though.
That whole movie, I feel like, just gains popularity and notoriety off of shock value.
Yeah,
I don't think it's because it's a good movie. I think people went into it being like, "Oh, it's gonna be funny," and they're like, "Oh, it's not funny."
it's just
weird.
It's the thing. It's like it doesn't even have like an interesting like. Like that's the thing. It's not funny enough to be like darkly funny, and it's not dark enough to be disturbing anyway. So it just kind of falls flat. Now I'm not gonna lie. The fuck was I expecting? It's not like I was going in there thinking like, this is gonna fuck me up. It was more of I was going in there thinking, I wonder if this is as wild as everybody says it is, and it's not. Which is sad, because, I would have liked to be unnerved a little bit. But nope, that is not the case.
Yeah. Always love like a good movie that you're not like expecting. It's just one that just shows up and you're like, oh, that was actually a really good movie.
Yeah, that's the thing, yeah. But, it's fine. That's the thing, is like I can't recommend watching it. I can't imagine anybody would get much out of it. But if you're avoiding it specifically because you're like, oh, I think it might bother me, I promise you it most likely won't.
I actually saw a movie recently that was really good.
What did you see?
It's a movie that's on Netflix, and it is called Maboroshi.
Maboroshi. Let's put this.
It's an anime movie.
2023.
The summary of it would be, a factory explodes, and then a small town essentially stops aging and stuff like that. Like, they just keep going about their day, and it stops aging, and then these dragons come out of the smoke of the factory and like heal cracks in the sky.
Yeah.
But the movie, like, it shows that part, but it quickly like time skips to like years in the future, and they're still just going about their day, like the same day over and over again, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically how these people here are dealing with it, and that's what you're let in with. It's a really good movie. I watched it being like, I haven't heard anything about this. Is it going to be good? It was really good.
That's fair.
It's like an hour and a half almost. Maybe 2 hours.
That's fair.
Close to that.
I'm looking at it now. I'm looking at the cast and stuff. Just curious if I recognize any of these voice actress and actresses. Oh,
Cool.
this guy, Max Middleman. He was in Your Lie in April, which is very, very good. Oh, and apparently he's the English voice of Saitama in One Punch Man. I don't know if you watch this in English or Japanese.
I watched it in English because I was doing other things.
Yeah, that's
I had it
fair.
on my top monitor.
That's like my thing is that if I'm sitting down to watch it, I generally think I would say I prefer subtitles. But I'm always doing something else. You know what I mean? I'm never just watching something. I'm always doing other things. So when I can't just keep looking at subtitles or I'll miss half the fucking thing.
Yeah. I mean, at this point now, like I could have it subtitled up there because by the tone of like their voice and stuff like that, I can just infer what they're saying.
That's
It's
fair.
not like I understand what they're saying.
Yeah.
A little bit, I can, you can, anyone who's watched it can infer phrases. They're just like, oh yeah, that means this generally.
Yeah.
So you can just sort of, I can just infer what they're saying if I'm like, if I have it pulled up, but I have to look at another message or something real quick.
Yeah.
I'm fine with doing that.
I know what
But
you mean.
sometimes I'll put it up there and I'll play a game or, I'll watch a YouTube video with it. I multitask a lot.
I either have, if I'm playing a video game, I either have some kind of TV or thing going, or I have like a podcast going. I
makes
never
sense.
just sit there like, having fun. Unless it's something like really intensive, like if it's a real, like if it's a visual novel of some kind, or like a real intensive, like you gotta, actually be paying attention to these conversations and stuff, then I'll, put a little extra focus on it. Because like
When this
what?
comes out, actually, I would like to say, I think when this comes out, it will be the day we release another cooking video.
Ooh, how snazzy.
I think that,
How's that make y'all feel? You're all excited?
not to interrupt you, that was very random. I just looked at the date and I was like, oh wait, it lines up. I should mention that.
That is fair. We will be cooking for you all soon. It'll be beautiful. It'll be
Hopefully.
great. Nothing could go wrong.
Hopefully. I've already recorded mine. Mine's amazing.
That's fair.
Not really. It's not very
I got to do mine still, obviously, but yes, I can't say I have faith. Ish. It'll be fine. That's how I'm gonna end this. It will be fine. You'll all be shocked.
Do you?
Do I?
Well,
want?
you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and introduce us.
Oh,
We're about
that's-
10 minutes in.
Probably not a bad choice.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Fluffy Biscuits podcast. My name is Jacob, otherwise known as Nazir TL, and I'm here with my friend Zach, who also goes by Pixelated Trash on the internet, and that should be it for right now.
That's fair. And actually, ironically, if you are listening or watching this new episode, I have finally started putting new content on my YouTube. So you can go watch me play video games, basically.
Unless he's lying.
That part's true. I should have it recorded tomorrow, though. So I'm going to give myself the benefit of the doubt.
Well, you know what game you should play?
I
we
can think
should
of a few.
put you
Cartel
in
Simulator.
no, we need to put you in like a sensory deprivation tank and just let you play Tarkov.
Oh, yeah, no. I'm good. But I was going to say, I thought you were going to say, if you really wanted to, like, freak my bean, give me a sensory deprivation tank and then make me play Subnautica, because I can't even play that game with the lights on across the room from the TV. I have to, like, fucking... I can't. It hits my thalassophobia so bad.
That will work too.
No, I'm...
I haven't played Tarkov in a long while, but I've fallen for the okay, for instance, I also said I wouldn't play Tarkov again because their customer service is garbage, and no
Fair.
one seems to understand why Tarkov accounts get like hacked,
Yeah.
and like it's complete garbage. I got my account sorted now through weird means, but I know like, no one can get into it. But the fact that, customer support wouldn't even help when it was happening is complete trash. But, hate the sin, not love the sinner. You know what I mean? So
Sure.
watched Will Neff stream it for hours, and I was like, fuck, now I gotta play it because it reminded me of how good the actual game is. And I played it, and for like 6 runs, I didn't die. I just kept coming back with loot, and I'm like, damn, I'm good at this game now. It was surprising because usually you go in there for the first, 10 times and you get your ass handed to you because you haven't played in a while and you're not paying attention. Meanwhile, I'm over here just like a rat in the fucking corner, just like, yes, give me that spoiled milk. I need it for my children.
Oh God, that sounds horrible.
The voice chat that was added in that game, not recently, but like a year ago, also makes it way better.
That part I can imagine.
You're in like a building and you're quiet. You hear other people like moving and you're just like standing still. You hear them shoot. You hear one guy go, "No, please. I have a family at home. You can't do this to me." And then the other guy just goes, "Oh man, I feel so bad for you." Just kidding. And then you just hear him unload into the room. And you're just sitting there like, I hope he doesn't come in this room because I'm gonna be outmatched here.
Please don't come in here. Please don't come in here. Please don't come in here. Please don't come in here.
It's like a horror game to some extent because if you're playing rat mode, you don't go in but with just like a pistol or even sometimes a knife. You just go in with like the bare essentials and you come out with stuff. So if you're in like a high loot area, there's just people in there waiting. They're just like, I'm gonna kill everything on sight. Anything that moves dies. There's a term that I think General Sam used, who's a big Tarkov player.
Mhm.
He likes to say on the map customs, "Do you want to get dorky on dorms?" Because everyone wants to go to dorms. So you could go there and you'll see people with like max level gear running through the hallways of the dorms, just unloading into rooms, and you're just like, I don't want to be here anymore.
I want to go home. Although, it's funny. You said that playing it made it almost like a horror game. And see, that's hilarious because for me, every game where I have to talk to other real people is a horror game.
Okay.
Just kidding.
I only say it's a horror game because you get so in the zone. I think me and you,
AutoZone?
like, no.
Oh.
Me and you have that same thing. Like, I can play any horror game and not get scared at, like, jump scares or anything like that. But the second I know something's behind me and I'm
Yes.
moving away from it, that's what gets me.
Yes, I hate being chased.
That's essentially Tarkov. Because if you hear like you're sitting there silent, you're zoned in. For instance, like right now, I don't even have both headphones on.
Yeah.
Tarkov's like the only game where I actually situate it like this because noises are so key. But you're sitting there, you're in a fucking bush. You heard the noise of entering the bush, and it's silence, just like shh, you're still. And then you just hear a fucking gunshot right next to you, loud as fuck. There is no way. Like there was one point, I think I was on the phone with Khalid, and he's talking. I just go, "Shut the fuck up, Khalid. There's someone right next to me."
Well, that's certainly fair.
Just scared shitless.
I need you to shut the fuck up, please.
I am having a panic attack in game right now. No cap.
No
Is there any
cap.
games that are horror games that you still enjoy playing?
Soma, that's a great game.
Soma.
It was the game that Frictional made after Amnesia: The Dark Descent.
Oh,
That I've gone back and beat that game a couple times. It's absolutely fantastic. But I would say in terms of pure Alien Isolation, I've revisited that a few times. I've only beat it once though, but I very much liked it. So there's that. I'm trying to think if there's any others that are specifically hard. I fuck with all the Silent Hill games. You know what I mean? Like they don't expressly scare
yeah.
me. Neither do like Resident Evil. Well, okay. Resident Evil didn't scare me until 7 started. Did 7 and 8 scare the shit out of me?
What about Mr. X?
And 2? No,
Chasing
he's
you
not
down
that
the
scary.
hallways.
I've been watching Mallory play this like for a while, and he's not scary. Like even in the remake, he's not scary, but especially in the originals. But
True.
no, I will say in both the original and the remake, Nemesis is scary as shit. I just don't find the overall game scary, but the Nemesis mechanic in that game is absolutely fucking terrifying.
You know a game that I really want to play, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna
Soul
play?
Hackers 2.
No, I don't know what that is.
It's a JRPG.
Outlast Trials.
See, I really want to give that a try too. It just doesn't. I can't tell if it actually looks fun.
Everything I've seen about it makes it look fun, and even Josh is like, I want to get it. So it's one of those things where I'd want to get it with a group of people.
Yeah.
Maybe me, you,
now?
Josh, and someone else should get it and then stream it.
That's fair. I would be down for that. It looks bad, to be honest with you. It looks not great.
What?
But I think that I think it has potential. You know what I mean? Like I'm not saying it looks bad in the sense of like 0 out of 10 worst game ever. I'm just saying it looks interesting. That's kind of the best way I could say it. It doesn't exactly grab me as like this looks like a lot of fun, but it does look pretty scary from what I've seen of it. I don't know who I watched.
It does have a
stream it.
9 out of 10 on Steam.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm not like I said, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying this doesn't look like the kind of game I would fall in love with. You know what I mean? Like very much like Lethal Company. Sense. So I guess I shouldn't be saying it's bad. I don't know that it looks like it's for me, but I really want to try it.
Yeah, Lethal Company is not your thing, even though you are very fun to play with, because it's just like, oh, I heard Zach crying in the corner before I walked out the door. There's like, I love that contrast of, I think, one of the first games we played.
Yeah, with Josh.
Where you're sitting outside the door and you're like, I'm talking, so someone can hear me. You're just singing. And then Josh is walking back to the ship. Eye of the tiger. Just and then he leaves and he's like, Zach was alive?
No, I think, honestly, this would be more my speed, like Outlast Trials, as opposed to, okay, I think I enjoy Lethal Company more in terms of like the overall game and the fun, but I think a game like Outlast Trials is more my speed because it's like Dead by Daylight, but it actually looks like I would have fun with it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I'm not a fan of Dead by Daylight. Again, recognize it to be a great game. It's been around forever. I ain't hating on it, but it definitely ain't for me. And this looks like something like that I would enjoy. It's got 93% positive reviews in all reviews.
Yeah, and it doesn't take a great computer to run it, to be fair.
Not. It is kind of weird that, that's where they went with Outlast, though. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
It's weird, but it's not like a bad pivot.
No, I'm just saying it's interesting because you had the first Outlast was we actually talked about that during our Halloween episode back when we came in here with a fully planned out conversation. But yeah, he the Outlast original was just a killer YouTube sensation, and then Second one didn't get so much play, and then they were just kind of like, let's make an online game.
Yeah, I think the pivot was actually needed, in my opinion, because I think an Outlast like 3 just wouldn't do anything.
I mean, I think you're probably right. My only qualm to that is that I have enjoyed the newer Amnesias, so they were able to do something with that. Then I imagine somebody could do something with Outlast. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
Amnesia, there's the first Amnesia, which was fantastic. Amnesia Machine for Pigs, which was trash. But then they had Amnesia. Fuck. Remembrance or something. And then they had
Dark
Amnesia.
Descent.
No, that was the first one. Then they
Oh,
had
my bad.
Amnesia the Bunker, but there was one in between the Bunker and A Machine for Pigs, and I don't remember Rebirth. That's what it's called. Rebirth and the Bunker, in my opinion, are both very, very good horror games. Now, I will say the other thing that the Bunker did better for Amnesia is they started the introduction of a very hard to obtain ammo for gun.
Yeah.
So you actually had an option if you wanted to save your ammo and actually take people down, you could, which I think is missing from a lot of horror games. Like, you don't have to give, it doesn't have to be RE5. Don't give me just a shotgun and tell me to go hurt a bunch of indigenous people. But it's like, if, like, something like, like RE7 and RE8, it's like you have a gun, and it doesn't even have to be that much combat like they have, but it's just like a little bit of the ability to shoot the thing that is chasing me is greatly appreciated.
The another game that looks good right now is a game called Enshrouded.
Yes, I have that on my wish list now. I actually found that earlier today. I saw my fucking, whenever I wake up, I open my phone, and I generally spend time just browsing Wikipedia for fun until I'm ready to get out of bed. And every time I do that, my Google homepage on my phone gives me a bunch of fucking like gaming updates. So I'm always like, oh, cool. But yeah, I saw that earlier today, and I actually thought that looked really good.
It do. It's also, co-op and stuff.
Yeah, that's how I found out about that Void Train game. It was just through that fucking thing. Well, actually, no, that got recommended to me on Steam. Never mind. That got recommended to me through Power World.
This looks like a medieval Valheim instead of like a Norse one, almost.
I never could get into Valheim. I did enjoy using my cheat codes to make myself shoot off into the air and then crash back to my death. But
Yeah.
it was okay.
I remember you loading in and doing that.
It was definitely okay. I don't know, it just didn't quite grab me. I did think if it had been in first person, I would have been a little more into it.
In games like Valheim, and even Power World, I tend to just run around as long as I can without making any armor.
That's fair.
And there was, at the beginning of 2023, I streamed a lot. And one of the things I streamed like every day for like hours was Valheim. And the community of Valheim is pretty small on Twitch.
Yeah.
But I did get from like, I don't know, 20 followers to like 58 or something like that from just streaming Valheim pretty much.
I gotcha.
And my Valheim streams were something like, is this Valheim or is this Dark Souls? Because I'm just dying over and over. Because I built in one of the harder areas and I'm just not wearing armor as I'm sprinting through the trees.
Lord have mercy. I mean, that's how it goes, you know? They think it don't be like it is, but it do.
It do be like that.
It do be like it is.
It do.
That's what this
I want
podcast
some
is
of that,
devolved into.
I want some of that, fucking, is it Oath's End?
Oaths?
Whiskey?
End?
Adventurer's End? It's Matthew Lillard's whiskey, I think. I know you showed it to me, but I had known about it for a while before that.
That ain't it. Oh, Jesus. You can't tell from the flashing on my screen. The website was not wanting to load.
It's Quest's End.
Yeah, I was going to say, I actually found Lux Row Distillers makes Blood Oath whiskey.
Okay. I want to tell you right now, I would kill someone for a bottle of that.
It's not. I wonder how much it
Do you
costs.
understand? Okay, listen. We found the subject. Do you know what Blood Oath whiskey is?
I know that it's rare because it says so on
It
the
is
page.
rare. It is rare because every year they release one bottle of it. Not like one, but like a different label.
Yeah.
So you can tell what year it is by the label. And basically what it is this person walks in and he basically blends different bourbons and stuff together.
Hmm.
And he's like he'll they'll do like a bunch of different samples, they'll taste it. And then once they release it, there's only a set number of them and then it's gone.
Yeah.
And I fucking want one so bad. Just
They're cool.
because of like the aesthetic of it is so nice. I want a bottle of it, but I can never find any from where I live because you can't fucking ship
Alcohol.
alcohol.
Yeah, you can't do that here either.
So I have to find it in a store and none of the stores have it. So I have to go to I'm going to have to go to another state. I'm going to
Probably,
have to
yes.
like I'm gonna have to make one of my friends feel bad on like one of my birthdays and be like, "Can we just go around the state next to us and find this whiskey so I can buy it?"
So the most recent is packed number 9 of Blood Oath, a masterful union of 3 well-bred rye bourbons. 1, an oaky 16-year-old. 2, a luscious 12-year-old. That's not a sentence I'm going to repeat. And 3, a 7-year-old finished in Spanish Olorosa sherry casks, which carries the aroma of sweet sherry while satisfying the palate with dark fruit, molasses, corn, and tobacco. This pack's ingredients included corn, rye, and barley. Tasty notes, aroma, sweet sherry with hints of ripe fruit. Palate, a melody of ripe fruits including figs, plums, and raisins with notes of molasses and chocolate. Finish, long-lasting fruit notes complemented by hints of spicy oak. And all of these are very different. They apparently...
Yep. They blend them different. It's one of those things because I in that way of I enjoy alcohol. I don't like getting drunk in general, but I love the taste of whiskey. It's one of those things where it's like people don't drink whiskey because they like the taste. People definitely drink whiskey because they like the taste. People don't drink vodka because they like the taste because vodka doesn't taste like anything. It just tastes like alcohol. I enjoy whiskey, and I want I want to be one of those people that has like my whiskey cabinet. You can't see it; it's not in the camera.
Yeah.
That way, it already has some whiskeys in it, but I want it to have whiskeys that are like collector stuff and not necessarily to drink all the time, just for like special occasions and stuff like that.
Friend, are you aware of how much Blood Oath costs?
Yes, I am, and I would buy it either way.
I mean, it's your $1,500, but...
That is not the actual price. You're looking at a scalper.
Well, I'm looking at the company they use to ship it, like where you can have it shipped straight to you instead of to a store.
The actual price is like $100.
Oh, okay. Oh, this is from pack number 3. This is like a real old one, like that's
Yeah,
unopened.
I'm looking at a pack number 1 that's like $117. You're looking at a scalper.
Well, yeah, like I said, I'm looking at it's their online shop.
That's fucking crazy. I don't believe. Well, I believe you, but like, I wouldn't pay that much for it.
See, all their other
Now,
whiskeys,
I would pay
all of their other
$100 for
whiskeys
it.
are between $40 and $100, but specifically
Yeah,
that one pack 3 one is listed extremely expensively.
it was probably one of like the best ones that they've made. But yeah, like I would pay anywhere from $100 to $150 for it, right?
I
I
feel
can
that.
get that. I wouldn't pay $1,000 for it.
Yeah, that would be
I wouldn't. I
insanity.
probably wouldn't pay any more than 200 for any bottle of whiskey.
Yeah, the only alcohol that I've always wanted to try is okay, so I am a big baseball fan. And my favorite team is the Seattle Mariners. I usually wear the hat. I don't have it on because it's hot in here. But I apologize for all this flashing. Every one of these websites I go to has to ask me how old I am like 27 times. But
Damn.
the Mariners, I'm also a big fan of radio broadcasts of baseball. I prefer listening to the radio than watching it personally. But unless it's in person, of course. But they are sponsored, at least they used to be. I can't be positive anymore, by a distillery in Washington State called Heritage Distilling.
Yep.
And I just everything that they offer looks outstanding. They make a blood orange vodka. They make these like pomelo and grapefruit essenced vodkas. They make like lavender vodkas, huckleberry vodkas, and then they make like supposedly really good bourbon too. So I was like, damn. Thing is too though, it's like it's hard getting around these fucking shops. Let me tell you that on these websites. But yeah. But since I can't get it, because yeah, they do the fucking First Special Forces Group whiskey, and they do editions of it, and it's supposed to be really, really good. But I can't, speak to it because I can't try it.
Yeah, I really dislike that law of the alcohol thing.
I'm actually curious. I want to see something real fast.
I love the idea of having like alcohol stores that just where you go in and it's obviously owned by like one person, but that person is very knowledgeable about everything in their store because they have to stock it. It's not like regulated like that. You know what I mean?
It's like a packaging store instead of like an ABC or something.
Yeah, it's not like an ABC store. It's like person owned.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I want, because it's like you could go up and be like, hey, what is like, why do you stock this and not this? You could develop friendships and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It'd be, I don't know, it just seems way better. I would very much enjoy it.
I'm putting my address into this just to see if it... Yeah, damn. Can't deliver to my state. That's so lame. I wish there was like an illegal way to go around that. I definitely would. Have it delivered to the fucking Mississippi border. Just drive over. Hey, are you you're the Postmates with the blood orange vodka, right? The code word is Western Front. Give me my vodka. Yeah, don't worry while Jacob does his thing. I'll just be workshopping some new voices I'm working on.
No, I don't know. I think you can ship like beers and ship to your house.
I think it's specifically liquor.
Yeah. Does wine not count as liquor?
No, wine is not a liquor.
That's wild.
It's just a completely different type of alcohol.
I didn't know that. Fuck.
It's funny though.
Liqueur. See, now we're both just being like, how do we do this?
Yeah, welcome to our illicit episode of the Fluffy Biscuits podcast, where we try to help you get alcohol illegally delivered to you.
Whatever. I'm going to figure out a way to get this. And when I do, I'm going to put it on the podcast and be like, I fucking got it, boys. I fucking got it. And if I somehow shipped it to my house through an unsavory means, I don't care.
How'd the podcast get shut down? Well, the raid on Jacob's house was a big starting point. It just kind of went downhill from there afterwards.
They come get me, and I'm just sitting there like gun in hand, fucking the whiskey I ordered in the oven.
You're not taking my rights to this
try.
whiskey.
Ordered Matthew Lillard's whiskey. This is my quest in, boys. Let's go.
How are you gonna deny him? He was in Scooby-Doo.
He was Shaggy. You can't do this.
You can't do this to Shaggy.
It's unethical.
How are you gonna tell Shaggy he can't have his whiskey out here? Also, that seems wild, the states in particular, because holy shit. Like, let's say they didn't make it. Could you imagine? Like, what? Actually, I'm going to look that up. What states can you not ship liquor? Liquor. Okay, so let's see. I have all of the state liquor laws in a very convenient but kind of obnoxious. Okay, I'm not using your fucking. I'm not turning my ad block off for you. Can I just see a list? That was a great list, but I'm not turning an ad block off for you. All right, here we go. Which states are illegal to ship alcohol to? Blah, blah, blah. Should be the summary. 3 territories do not
My
have any
state
statutes.
is not listed here.
While these territories
gypped.
have not outright banned direct-to-consumer alcohol shipping, they do not expressly allow it either, which makes shipping alcohol to these areas risky. 6 states have expressly banned the direct shipping of alcohol. These states include Mississippi, Alabama, Utah, Kentucky, Delaware, and Rhode Island.
Yeah. You say Utah? Yeah, you did.
Yeah. And apparently some of these, like Delaware and Rhode Island, you can actually have it shipped from, like if a distillery in Rhode Island is allowed to ship to your house in Rhode Island. But they can't ship from outside. They has to be local.
This is very interesting. Interesting
Actually,
development
Fuck
here.
it. I'm going to just turn my ad block off because I really want to read this one. Okay. Yes, your specific state allows beer and wine delivery only.
What?
It does not allow liquor, whereas mine allows none. So even
This
if
is
I
baby bag bullshit.
so I can't get beer or wine delivered here either. But yeah, you can do beer or wine. You just can't do what's it called? Can't do liquor.
Well, it's not like they're gonna know.
Yeah, apparently New Hampshire, Florida, Tennessee, Kentucky, which is weird because Kentucky was listed on that other list, but I guess maybe that was an outdated list because this is 2024 that I'm looking at now. Louisiana, in Indiana, yep, that's not what Indiana is. Iowa? There we go. Nebraska, Wyoming, Washington, California, Arizona, and Hawaii. You can ship anything. And then the 6 we went over: Utah, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, Delaware, and Rhode Island. You cannot ship anything at all. So, if you are interested in any of that for some reason, I have laid it all out there for you, great listeners. You're all welcome.
I'm on a website. I'm just gonna type in like my address to see.
Yeah, we'll put it here live on the screen for all y'all.
No. We're not putting it live on the screen.
I think you're missing out.
Nah.
You can make some new friends.
I put it on the screen. Like I typed it in now, and it's not saying no. Like it loaded, and it was like, okay.
My thing let me get all the way to the point where I put in my address for shipping, and then it said, like, under shipping options, it was like, no shipping options available.
This one's giving me shipping options.
Well, then. Maybe you can actually... Man, hasn't this been a fascinating episode for everybody? Isn't this what you listen for?
We're just sitting here talking about how we're going to get whiskey.
How we can potentially order whiskey in states that really don't want you to order whiskey.
Which is a sin.
Yeah.
They shouldn't do that. They shouldn't limit us in our alcohol intake.
Exactly. What are they going to come for next? My cocaine?
Wow. Don't tell them about that.
This far, no further. If I can't have morphine delivered directly to my doorstep, then this isn't America.
But I will say it's like, you know, a nice bottle of whiskey is great, right? Like tasting an expensive whiskey is great. but its only value is what you assign it, right?
Oh yeah.
Like I would get this bottle because I assign it like it's worth that value. I
Yeah.
understand other people wouldn't, but I enjoy whiskey. I want to collect them. So to me it's kind of worth it. Would I open it right away? No, it'd probably be a couple years before I even opened it and tried it. Would I let other people try it? No, probably not. It'd probably be like it'd be one of those things where it'd be nice to pull out like on a special event, maybe open on a special event or open on a significant like date
Oh
or
baby, when I pull
anniversary.
out, it's always a special event.
Whoa, is this I don't know. Like the whole theme of it is great. If you can sell me on the theme of something, you probably got me. I mean, it's named Blood Oath. That sounds cool as fuck.
All
And you
right.
got
Well,
Quest End. It's also cool.
I mean, that sure sounds like a challenge to me. Give me 1 second.
Whoa, what are you about to
Just,
pull up here?
Yeah, let me just send this to you. Okay. Here's why this is the greatest video game of all time.
So you're trying to sell me on this?
I'm selling you on a theme, yes. So, here's the thing. What you're looking at.
LMA Manager 2001.
Yeah, so this is a a French soccer
A
game
French version.
for the PlayStation 1. Now I want to bring your eyes down here though, because you'll see that this game is made by Codemasters. Now, first off, we all know the French are the most superior. I'm just kidding. But the Codemasters games, right, have included
Yeah.
a plethora of things. And we're going to look back here. What are some of their biggest success right now? Micro Machines World Series, Dirt Rally 2.0, Grid.
I know Dirt Rally.
Dirt 5, Grid Legends, Overlord, that weird action game, Colin McRae's Rally Simulator, Body Count, which was something, Dragonology, which was an edutainment game for the DS. I think I've already made my case here.
I got distracted. I found a mystery dungeon game that's themed after something else.
Oh.
On this website.
Oh, yeah, this is my go-to for this.
Fushigi.
What?
It's called Fushigi no Dungeon. But
Fushigi.
Whenever I read it that way, I think of the ball Fushigi. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah,
Like
yeah.
the mirror ball.
Yeah.
And if Fushigi no means like mystery or something, if that's what it's translated to, if that's like the actual translation, I'm not sure. Does the Fushigi ball just means a mystery ball?
God. Oh, I see what you're talking about now. But yeah, so that was my attempt. It didn't work. If it does anything for you, in '86, I made Super Robin Hood on the Amiga.
The amoeba.
If that moves the needle for you at all.
No, I don't think you sold me.
Man. The guy who made this, though, actually, he recently made a game. He's making a game called Open RCT 2. Open Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. I don't know why I kept saying railroad. So he's hard at work out here. He made Transport Fever. Who keeps letting this guy make games?
I don't know.
Oh, he made Prison Architect. Now that's a good game.
That's a good game.
He also made Cartoon Network Battle Crashers, but I don't
I don't
play
know
that
that
to
game.
tell you if that was. He made Goat Simulator.
Oh, okay.
Or at least he has
Lost
been a part
points.
of all of these. So he made Train Fever. This guy really likes fucking trains.
I like twins.
He worked on
Well.
he worked on Bejeweled 3. How are we gonna deny a man with that kind of God?
Would you enjoy going ahead and sign us out of this one?
Sure, I can do
I know
that.
we're a little bit early, but
We're a
it'll be
little
fine.
early, but I think everything went exactly as planned.
We got
And,
derailed on schedule as usual.
I was gonna say, I have a list here. Hold on, I have a list that was for today's recording session. On that list, I have crossed out using the little cross ability on my notes things we have talked about. That has taken out 2 of the 11 things I wrote down.
Oh, you can bring up another one.
We're good because I need time for them. I'm already winding down. I'll need time to get them all out there in the wild. And one little thing I wanted to know, with the prevalence of the games that we've been talking about and looking at, with like Void Train last episode, Power World last episode, Enshrouded this episode, have you heard? Did you hear about like the massive failure that was the Blizzard open world survival game?
I don't know what that game is.
So they were making an open world survivor game. Microsoft, who owns Blizzard, was like, this sucks. They were apparently having massive engine issues. So they defunded the game, officially canceled it, and laid off 1,900 employees.
God damn.
Yeah. So anyway, well, that was just something I wanted to bring up for all y'all, so that we could leave on a high note. So if you're any of those 1,900 employees, just know that I feel for you. But the good news is you don't have to work at Blizzard anymore. So thank you all so much for watching.
Upside.
Leave a like if you enjoyed. Guys, I'm saying, as always, if you want to see more members, subscribe. That's my sign off, not the podcast sign off. Whoops. Thank you all so much for listening. If you listen on Spotify and you want to see it on YouTube, you can go check us out at the Fluffy Biscuits Podcast. If you checked us out on YouTube and you want to see us on Spotify, we're at the Fluffy Biscuits Podcast still. You can find us on Twitter at Fluffy Biscuits. Extra F in there because fuck you. And then you can find me, Zach, at Pixelated Trash. I will by now have new content out on my channel. You can find Jaco, always making new content, over at his channel, NazirTL, on YouTube. And you can also find him on Twitter at NazirTL. So thank you all so much for watching and listening, and we will see you next time. Bye.